Hey, welcome to Podcast. Dennis, what are we doing here today?
We discuss really different topics, try to explore different things, basically looking for experience and sharing this experience with those who might be interested in starting with Code Jõhvi, or just learning about how programmers live and how they think and feel.
Today we're interviewing three of the new sprinters. So sprinters are the people who want to get into school, since onboarding into school consists of two parts. First of all, you need to take an online test on the webpage, where they test your, let's say, logical thinking. And after that, you participate in a 3-week sprint where you learn programming from ground up. And right now we have a second batch of sprinters this summer. Today we have as guests Kadri.
Hi.
Kevin.
Hello.
And John.
Hey.
And as hosts, me, Jan, and Dennis. So let's start with a small icebreaker. Your favorite summer activity? Kadri?
Sunbathing.
Sunbathing.
Yeah, soaking in the sun.
All right. And so how does it feel to sunbathe in the dormitory for 3 weeks right now?
I'm actually not living in the dormitory.
Oh.
And I have gotten used to the programmer lifestyle, so I haven't seen the sun for I don't know how many days. 10 days. So yeah.
But I think at least you get some positive thoughts about the sun because it shines through the windows or...
Yeah, the
It
third
doesn't
floor
help.
is really dark and ominous, so...
The building is really prepared for programmers.
Yeah,
no shine,
absolutely.
no lightning.
Yeah.
Sorry, no light in there.
All right. And you got a lot of sun this summer, or would you like to get some more?
I would like to get some more. Never enough because the summer is so short in Estonia.
Oh, really? Oh, geez. It really depends on the person who asks what
Yeah.
summer is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And what's summer for you?
Like almost 30 degrees.
Almost 30 degrees. Jesus Christ.
Then my hands are like really cold all the time. But when
Oh.
it reaches like 28, I'm almost like warm, feel warm. And so, yeah, that's my natural state. And I feel good in the warmth.
Jesus, that's too much.
That's too much. Even listening to these numbers, like 30.
Yeah. But I guess to each its own.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, Kevin, your favorite summer activity?
Favorite summer activity? I guess like picnics in the park or playing some sports. Just like being outside, enjoying the sun, as long as it's not too hot. So 30 is, I'd need like some good shade for that. But yeah, enjoying the sun, enjoying like nature.
I see. What's like the perfect temperature for you?
Perfect temperature. Between 18 and 21.
Oh, all right.
After that, it like bites my skin. The sun's too hot.
All right, I get you. And so, considering that for the past 2 weeks you've been in the dormitory coding, how does the picnic part
Yeah,
going?
the picnic park doesn't really exist right now. But I don't know. I've gotten like 2 of the, I guess, flatmates from the dorms.
Yeah.
We play some like volleyballs and ball games. We started a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So that's been a bit fun. Get to try to move a bit because sitting down, coding, have to get some movement in once in a while.
Yeah, I see. And do you stay here in dormitories in Jõhvi or at Sillamäe?
Sillamäe.
At Sillamäe. So you're playing sports there, or?
Yeah, we just took a ball
Yeah.
and then just played volleyball on the grass
Yeah.
and then just bring the ball back
Oh.
the next day.
Okay, all right. Are there any volleyball like pitches on near the water? Because like Sillamäe has a pretty great promenade
Oh,
and a nice beach.
yeah.
Are there
So
any?
we went like on a walk to the promenade.
Yeah.
But I didn't see any volleyball nets, but there might have been. I didn't have my eye open for them.
All right.
There might have been some. It was a nice walk though.
That's for sure. That's for sure. All right. So, John, what's your favorite summer activity?
I guess that will be closer to Kadri's favorite. I just love being at the beach, but I would rather be in the shade. And I love falling asleep at the beach. Like literally, maybe have a chilled drink or two. No upper limits on some days, and just maybe just chill.
Yeah, all right. That sounds great. So basically, you all three can team up and go to the beach, play some volleyball, and
Exactly.
just take the sun in. Yeah, all right. That sounds like fun.
Absolutely.
Maybe Dennis, your favorite summer activity?
My favorite summer activity is to work. Okay, I'm not honest, but yeah, it's the only thing I do at the moment. Of course, besides studies.
Okay, so you like working and studying, yeah?
Yeah.
Or like it's more like you need to do it.
But
not...
if I'm chilling, like if I really need to kind of become a human, I just take a walk. I just go to the city, just like trying to stay out of any computational device as far as possible, as for a longest period.
That doesn't really sound like it's only exclusive to summer, I suppose.
In general, yeah. After work, I don't want to see anything related to work.
Okay.
I think it's
all right. So like no something specific related to the summer, I suppose.
No, doing music as well, trying to get into sound design and piano and vocals. So this is like another side of me.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Hope you're having fun. All right, then. So, me?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Favorite summer activity? I guess it's skateboarding and longboarding. What?
I enjoyed longboarding in the UK, yeah.
All right. Do you have your longboard here with you?
I don't have it with me. I sold it before I came.
Jeez, that's unfortunate. But yeah, you can get them in Estonia for cheap, I think.
Most likely, yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think we have any longboards in the school. Like we have some kind of skating club organized here. So at first it was 3 people. Right now it's around 10 people
wow.
on the skateboards. And fortunately, there's a skate park just 100 meters from here. So yeah, I don't know about longboarders, but if you want to skate, you just can ask the people on the 5th floor because they...
Yeah, there's some skateboards just chilling there.
There is a whole bunch of skates.
All right, yeah. So since we have, as Kadri said, a short summer, but I'm more in the camp of like we have too much summer because everything above 20 is just unbearable. I don't like, and I don't like to be sweaty when I'm skating. So I'm looking out for more chilly days, like 13 degrees, 15 degrees at maximum. But yeah, I guess that's mine. Kadri's just shivering.
Yeah, I get cold by thinking about it.
Those Estonian guys complaining about plus 20.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the humidity that kills you. It's just too much. But all right, let's then jump onto the topic of today's podcast. And it's why did you choose to come to the Kood to study here and to participate in the sprint? So, Kadri, let's start from here.
I actually wanted to learn any kind of coding for a long time. I just somehow ended up working straight after uni. And then I just, with the work, full-time work, and I just didn't quite manage. I did a few shorter courses, but they were like nothing as massive as this has been in 10 days. So I just didn't feel like I was growing enough. So I wanted to do something like properly and in depth. And then I just randomly saw the advert somewhere, I don't know where. And I thought I should try. And here I am.
I see. And what interests you in coding?
I have actually wanted to work as a data analyst.
Oh,
because I find data fascinating.
That's pretty specific.
And in today's world, I don't think anyone can do without data.
Yeah.
if you know how to analyze it and use it for your own success. So yeah, I want to work with that, but I need some base because this is like totally new, different field than the one I have learned. So I need to basically build up from zero again. And this is what I'm trying to do here.
What was your prior background? Does it help?
I like to think that it helps, but it really doesn't. I studied medicine and well, I can't really seem to connect it with coding in any way.
I think the field is so big and the interconnections between the different skills are so massive that you never know. Like I myself coming from arts background, and I still find like good things that I studied prior and that I can use here in coding.
I guess on this subject matter, like I feel like the connections are there. It's just a matter of seeing and remembering and kind of like remembering your own experience from like school or your education or work and kind of putting in words, in the words of coding, like the terminology of coding, like encapsulating your experience within this new realm, so to speak. Because I'm sure you would find meaningful times or experiences where you can use in coding, because I seem to do a lot, or maybe I'm just good at fooling myself and motivating myself with previous experiences. In any way, I mean, there are many points, endpoints that I can connect to from my school years and from my different work experiences, because I worked in different fields and they're kind of unrelated from each other.
I see. And I suppose there's a whole field of medical software and hardware, so you can find yourself in there, I suppose.
Yeah, I just meant at this point,
Yeah.
I can't seem to make the connections because maybe I'm not on the level yet that I could really use the knowledge I have previously.
Yeah, and coding isn't much about coding, actually. It's about people and just working with people.
And also talking about data analyst, since it's so specific, did you have it in mind for a long time? How you came upon it?
I don't know. It seems so like wrong, but I have always liked numbers and Excel tables.
I
So
see.
yeah, I'm a bit weird.
So when in the kindergarten, the children played with the fire engines and the policemen, they wanted to become those. You wanted to study numbers.
No, actually, when I was little, I really wanted to become a doctor. So yeah, it came a bit later. I think when I was in high school.
I see. All right, that sounds great. Sounds fun. Kevin, why code? Why did you come here?
So I was looking at going to university here to study cybersecurity. And then, like, just before the deadlines for application for the uni, I saw an ad of Kood on Instagram. And I looked through it. I was like, okay, this seems more like my kind of thing. Not having to, like, be in a classroom, sat down, listening to a lecture, and like being able to learn independently in my own time. So I was like, okay, this looks interesting. Read more about it. I was like, okay, this is down my alley. I'm going to apply to this. So here I am now.
I see. And you had any previous coding experience?
Yeah, so in London, I went to uni. I studied computer game development.
Oh.
Yeah, so I spent 3-4 years at uni doing that. But by the time I finished, it's like nothing really stuck. So I'd like done all of that time, and then I didn't like program again. I didn't like make anything, any games or anything for years.
For years?
Yeah, so then I saw this as an opportunity to like get back into it and like use it as motivation as well to try to do something programming and coding related again.
Yeah, and you're in a great spot since we have like a module which is based on the game
On
development.
game development.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Where you learn, I think, Unreal Engine 5, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's Unreal Engine, I saw.
So if you have experience with, I think it was C++ or C Sharp.
C Sharp.
Yeah.
Oh, Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Unreal Engine uses C++,
Yeah.
but I have C Sharp experience. So, I mean, I guess I could try to translate a
It's
bit.
related. John, what's about you? Why did you come here?
Yeah, I guess it was 2 months ago. I quit my job. I've been a teacher for the last 5 or 6 years.
What kind of teacher?
It was the last 2 years of it was a music teacher at state schools back in Istanbul, but before that I was an English teacher. I was teaching English in private schools and privately, like tutoring and stuff. But then I quit my job because I felt like I was living basically the same day every day without getting any push. So I was lacking the feel of flow every day. So
And by push, you mean...
so by push I mean like being better being better person every day, like being a better version of yourself each coming day. So I didn't have any motivation to do anything additional because everything I knew, which even though it wasn't much, but it was enough for what I was doing. So that environment and that setting didn't push me to learn more, to be better, or to add different approaches to my everyday working life. So I kind of felt like stuck in a different way. And I always wanted to be in tech world. And recently, for the last few years, I always wanted to start learning, but I'm I guess no plan B type person. Like I have to have a plan A.
Okay.
And I have to put my mind into it, just focus most of my energy there. And that's how I feel like I get the most results. And how I feel more motivated. Because once I have a B plan, it feels like I'm planning for failure.
Okay.
So when I started doing the self-learning path, I realized it's so easy to get lost in learning coding by yourself. Just like Kadri mentioned, I think they call that on the internet, like on YouTube, in the circles on Reddit and everything. I guess they call that the tutorial hell.
Yeah.
So you get into watching this one tutorial, the next one, and you don't know. One time you watch the Bash script, and then you watch something about cybersecurity, and everyone tells you to you have to learn Python because the syntax is so close to English, and it's going to be great, and you end up watching tons of videos which are entirely unrelated, and
You never start.
and it's just your day keeps being the same day but watching different videos, and at the end of the day you don't have any MVPs, like the minimum viable product that you can show, even if it could be a shopping list.
And also it can confuse because you don't have any concrete idea to work on. And you don't know what to study directly because you research 10 different topics.
Yeah, so you're not in the center of that. It doesn't start with you. It doesn't end with you. It doesn't give you a product in the end. So the watching tutorial videos becomes the center, and you somehow start fooling yourself into believing, hey, did I watch a video today? Okay, I did, so it's a successful day, which there's not. There's no product. So when I realized that, and knowing myself, being an old school guy when it comes to learning, I need a framework. So when I saw Kood, which has the acceptance culture, and the inclusion culture rather than the exclusion culture, if you're smart, come, or don't stop by, kind of thing, or if you're crazy good at math, come, but otherwise don't stop by, kind of thing. It had the inclusion culture, and I don't know why, I just felt it in the wording of the website everywhere. It was there was no contradicting info,
Yeah.
or even like a contradicting style of writing, and no contradicting energy anywhere on the website.
So you felt
Whatever
included from the site.
Yeah, and like everything kind of like matched. Like I literally, honestly speaking, I literally went through most of the FAQ just to try to find where's the, what do we call that, like a footnote?
Yeah.
Where's the catch? Yeah, where's the catch?
the catch?
Yeah.
So yeah, where's the catch? Just trying to find that little details here and there, those little nuances to just break up the entire like this dream, so to speak. And I couldn't. Just everything fit, and I said, why not just? Oh, they have a test now, so why don't I go ahead to do the test? And next thing I know, I'm emailing the team about my visa situation, and everything is fine, and I find myself here.
I see. But where did you find out about codes? That's contingencies.
Online. Actually, I believe it came out as a search result when I searched for online boot camps.
I see.
Remote boot camps. I might have especially searched for Estonia too.
Why Estonia?
Knowing, like hearing so much about the digitalization of the country.
I see. Yeah. It's quite convenient.
Yeah.
It buggers me out, like in other countries, you like considering the documents. You need to go to some place to see some clerk to sign the documents or take them out from here. But in here, we just can send the file. Somebody can sign it, or they can send it to you. You can sign digital. That's it. So
that's it.
No hassle.
Exactly.
Yeah. And as we were talking, I realized that we did. I think we did mine and Denise's introduction, but we never introduced you properly. So why don't we do it just now? Because there were talks about Istanbul, London, and Kadri mentioning she was from Estonia, but no like proper introduction.
I think we have like zero introductions because none either me haven't introduced ourselves as well. Like what are we doing, our background, stuff like that. Besides mentioning we are the hosts here.
Yeah. Just let's touch on it. Since John, you were the last. Let's start from you.
How far back should I go? Like because it is.
I mean, let's.
We don't want to be here all day long. So I'll keep it concise.
From where he came from? Because you mentioned Istanbul, so you're from Turkey.
Yeah, I was born in Istanbul, Turkey. And interesting fact is like we have been pronounced the country name like Turkey, but I guess they have been changing it now.
Oh,
so it's like Turkey now, like the original Turkish pronunciation of it. I don't know why.
So it's more recommended Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey. Yeah.
Turkey.
I guess.
Okay.
I guess.
All right.
Maybe they're like trying to break away from the association with the animal. Maybe that's the idea. I have no idea. Got no clue. But yeah, I was born in Istanbul. Spent most of my life there. I've been a piano player since the age of 6. And I went to university in the United States because I got a music scholarship. When I first got into the university, I was actually a double major in math and music.
Oh.
But due to the workload, I couldn't do math. I had to drop math.
Okay.
And then I graduated from music theory and composition.
All right.
Got a scholarship from Eastman School of Music, which is a very like top-notch school, one of the top 3.
All right.
It's like compares to like same in the same lane with Juilliard. Got a partial scholarship there, but couldn't find any sponsors from home, so couldn't continue my studies. When I came back home, worked in different fields such as hospitality. I worked as a chef for 7 years, and then I went into media and marketing communications.
Yeah.
Did my MBA during those years.
Oh.
And then after that, I found myself teaching English and music for the last few years. And now I'm here.
I see. All right. That's quite the journey, I'd say.
Yep.
It's quite the journey. And majoring in maths and music at the same time, geez, that sounds hard. But I suppose since you dropped out of the math and decided to focus on music, you're not listening a lot of math rock?
No.
All right. Okay. So
So
A small joke if anybody knows
so-
something about math rock.
I've learned now that there are double majors in mathematics and music, and there is math rock.
Yeah.
Two new things.
Like, the odd time signatures, 7/4, like, and stuff like that,
Yeah.
5/4. So yeah, basically like that. But all right, never mind. Okay, Kevin.
Okay, so I mean, it's not as in depth or as John's, but so I was raised in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to Estonia last year, August.
Mm-hmm.
So August 22 now.
Why?
My partner lives here, so I moved here.
Okay.
London's just a bit too. It's getting really expensive and busy there,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, it's nice to move away and break away from there. But I moved here. As I said before, I studied in London. I went to university in East London.
Mm-hmm.
Did my computer game development course. Didn't do much of it after. So, yeah, I just saw this online and found myself here. So
I see. And how are you finding Estonia so far? Like moving from such a big country and such a big city?
I like it. I honestly like it. Like, it's quieter. There's less people.
Okay.
And as you mentioned before, like the ease of like all the digitalization,
Yeah.
it's so much better. Like getting my ID here was like super straightforward and easy. Signing documents, sending documents.
Yeah.
It's like it's easier to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right. Yeah. Okay then, Kadri.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I studied medicine. After that, I went to work for the government. Worked in the health board for 5 years on the field of medical devices, and kind of felt like the field has nothing to offer me or I to the field. So I decided to quit and find a new job. And I got a job in Statistics Estonia, which is the works with different statistical things in Estonia.
So that's where the data analyst comes from, yeah?
Yeah,
All right.
but the job I applied to is not exactly as I imagined, because it's not like a data analyst. It's more like analyzing like simple data.
Okay.
It's like not interpreting or doing something with it, just using some simple calculations, and that's basically all. So I want to learn more and do more with the data. So, yeah. And that's how I'm here, and that's what I would like to do in the future, if everything goes well here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
Okay.
see.
I see.
So how about you?
Me?
Yeah,
Should I?
of course.
Oh, geez. All right. Since everyone else introduced themselves. So I've been born and raised here in Estonia, in Ida-Virumaa. So this county. What else? Let's see. I've been always interested in computers, and I wanted to try coding, but I always thought that I don't have a brain for that. I'm too stupid for that, honestly. But fortunately, last year I finally had the courage to try myself and apply myself into coding. And as it turns out, anyone can do it. It's like sweeping the floor. You just need to learn it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how easily comes the sweeping floor versus coding, but I think it's not a real comparison. Let's say it's more like cooking a soup. Yeah, because in coding you need to, let's say, build a website, and you do it by certain steps, and like making a soup, it involves certain steps too. So more of that.
Sure, and also a successful chef is not the one who has all the recipes memorized.
Yeah,
As just how things work,
yeah,
the basic techniques are,
yeah,
like what broiling is, what sautéing is,
yeah,
and maybe using other tools. So the cooking techniques and everything. So so in a way, you don't have to have every recipe memorized.
yeah.
You just have to understand how ingredients interact the way they interact when we apply certain forces to them. That's how I see it.
That's how coding is, yeah.
That's how coding is. You have
Yeah.
your ingredients
Yeah.
and you just, try to make sense out of it.
Yeah.
You apply forces to it.
Yeah.
You force them to interact with each other and you just see what comes out.
Yeah. So in a way that senior developers like the main chefs at the kitchen, and
Exactly.
since I'm studying for we have a full stack. I think at the end of school you get to be like a full stack developer. So right now I'm learning pots and pans and different spices.
Maybe, yeah.
And the complexity of the field is so massive. I find no way to learn every single thing I need to know. So like, I don't know, 90% of whatever I use in my work, I just try to figure out on on my own. It's not like, of course, solely on my own. There are Stack Overflows and ChatGPTs and all those nice things. But overall, like cooking a soup, I think it's a very, very interesting and very sound comparison. Like there are so many recipes, there are so many things, and so many different environments. And what is there?
Yeah. And also there is no end to different recipes of soup. So it's not like we can run out of different soups.
Yeah.
So it's never going to be like, oh, we got the soup, we don't need any more of it. So we'll always need something new.
Yeah.
Which works for us.
Yeah. And talking about recipes in the projects, when you're making a soup with someone, so let's say a school project, you headbutts on the topic of to use a fine grain salt or like a kosher salt.
Yeah, and one more thing I really like this comparison is that if the soup should fit the customer. So like if it's prepared, like even the best soup out there prepared for a wrong person or just the wrong soup for the right person, he won't eat it. So the same thing applies to business. And I think many things are like software engineering is software engineers often miss that point that it's not only about soups, it's also about the clients.
But that's why you need salesmen to sell that soup.
No, you cannot sell it. It either fits or not, in my opinion, of course.
Yeah, all right.
Can you tell about, you come from different countries, different cities. Can you tell about your experience coming to Estonia? How was it? Because I imagine seeing whatever ads in the Instagram and just scanning the whole website, thinking, is it really legit? Do they provide things for free? And I need to travel 1,000 kilometers away from my home just to make this decision. I think it requires a lot of strength and what is there. So can you share your perspective on that?
I guess his doesn't count
I mean,
that
mine
much
doesn't count
because he's
that
been
much
here
because I
already.
moved here, yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't count too much. But
still.
It's, so the question was can you rephrase it again?
It's more of what was the journey from your home, seeing the ads on Instagram to being here, and how those expectations compare to your current experience here?
I can do the expectation part. I can answer the expectation part because living here already wasn't too hard to come to the school to get started on it. But expectations wise, honestly, I saw everything that they said we're going to be doing. I was like, okay, this seems it's doable. Something I could get really into. Then I started and just after we had a not really meet and greet, we had an icebreaker. We just introduced ourselves to different people, and when that finished, it was you're starting now. And I was like, wow, that's when it all got real. And there was this comparison that I saw online that said the sprint is equal to a year of university. I saw it and I was like, that can't be true. And now I've started and wow, we do a lot, like per day. So the expectations were like met and then some. So it's hard. You know, it's been quite difficult, but at the same time, it's been like you've met like lots of people who really support each other, really help each other. And that's something I wasn't really expecting because like I came and I was like, oh, I'm competing with this person, I'm competing with this person, competing with this person. But it's more like everyone's has their own journey, which is something that I've learned from here.
Yeah. So in a way, maybe you are competing, but I more see it like you need to support each other and show like the teamwork that you're capable of doing it.
Yeah. Because I found out that I've realized that it's really hard to get through this by yourself.
Yeah.
And like the support of others is a major contribution.
I think it's practically impossible, like later on, even if you're a very good developer, writing on your own, like social networks and Facebooks, okay, not Facebooks, but like even a proper social network as a project is a huge effort.
Yeah.
And just one single person, I think, I haven't seen one.
So that's just able to do everything by themselves, yeah.
And that's what I'm liking. That's why I'm liking the fifth floor, because everyone's so loud. There's groups working everywhere. And like, last year when I participated in a sprint, it was in Haapsalu, and we had like a school building rented for it, and we had classes. So I was coming to one class where there were like, we had 2 floors, and there were classes. Just people choose whichever class to sit in, and I just became friends with a couple of guys, and so I jumped into that class, jumped to that class, and it was pretty interesting because different guys knew different things, and we had the brainiacs who knew basically everything, but I really couldn't communicate with them because of I thought that I'm not really on their level, and I'm just taking their time away. So I had little interaction with them, but I had more interaction with guys that I felt who were on my level, and we had a great connection, and it was something like that.
Yeah.
John?
Me?
Yeah.
My version.
Yeah.
The thing is, since I come from a marketing background, as you all, I'm sure already know, like the website is like your kind of like front show. It's like your front of your store. So it matters for the first impression. So like when I saw the website and every like so like the sub pages, so to speak, like the design caught my eye. Everything looked so professional. The UX was like very fluid, and it was easy to navigate within the site, which really made a great impression. Because you see these boot camps and their own website give you errors, or like they look. I know it's subjective, but ugly. Like literally, like even like the color choices, like on the color spectrum, they don't go well. It's like not easy on the eyes, and it just in the end, even though you're a prospective student, it's the way the world goes. You're a prospective client for a while, so you end up just like judging them, even though you don't know anything about it. You're like, it makes an impression on you. And then with Code Jõhvi's like the colors, the design, the fonts, and everything, it just like made me want to spend time there. And yes, after reading about it, honestly speaking, it just sounded it's like way too good to be true. Because I actually mentioned this yesterday morning to some of the Code team members. I said part of my experience was that I felt something very different from my experience in life, which is life tends to like first ask from you for things, and then kind of decides to give you little by little. But here, my experience was entirely upside down, just vice versa, because here you're literally given so much right off the bat. You're like, here's the environment, here's the building, here are the dorms. Don't worry about, it's like dorm bill, like utility bills or like rent or anything for these 2 weeks. Just come here, relax, be yourself. Here's a clean, amazingly built building, and infrastructure is amazing. Everything's like, looks brand new, and everything works, and the system works, and the entire we have been on schedule since day one. So everything works, everything clicks, all the communication channels are open. If there's some changes, we know about it. And then you get to like calm down and focus on just simply learning and simply collaborating right away.
Yeah.
And then this like whole like this energy and maybe the synergy starts forming up. And that's one part I liked so much. Like instead of asking first, this selection sprint gives first.
Yeah.
Here's your building, here's your dorm, here are your machines even, if you need some, which was very surprising to me.
So yeah, in the end, the only thing you need to do is just give your best.
And also provides you the people too.
Oh yeah.
Not only material things, which is the most, like 99%,
Yeah.
the most important asset. It brings people together and just literally says, just mingle. Just work together now, and if you end up coming across within that group with people who share the same frequency with you, you just now they're feeling the flow.
Okay. And what about the expectations part? Oh, how did you imagine it would go?
It actually surpassed my expectations.
Okay.
Because I for some reason the website and the way the wording how the wording went on the website seemed like so solid to me that I didn't even question it if it was that way. And but just to double check, I went on Reddit. And I actually went on the Estonia, like the Aresti,
Yeah.
And the psycho I am.
Yeah.
I literally opened up Google Translate.
Yeah.
And I translated one post, like post by post.
Yeah.
Everything I could find on kood Jõhvi.
Oh yeah, there are a couple of those in a year.
So then I read. When I saw like people's like experiences, like matched 99% with the arguments made on the website, so I'm like, it's got to be true, even though it's hard to believe.
All right.
And then when I came here, it just like surpassed all of it.
All right.
So the energy is like there's so much more which can't be explained on the website. So I would. Strongly urge people to give it a chance.
Wanted to reflect on that. I have very similar feelings that it's almost surreal. Like how many things are here just completely for free. And I'm from like local community and nothing was given for free. Except like for things I wouldn't name.
Fists maybe. They were given for free.
So yeah, like considering the background and like local community, to have something like this school here, it's amazing. It's, to me it feels really out of this world, like it's out of the context. It's almost like that. And now when I'm here, I feel of course, like with time, it kind of I lost that feeling that it's amazing. It's like I just start taking it for granted. But I'm trying to roll back like 2 years, and I was waiting for the school, and I saw all those promises like, yeah, we are going to build it in 1 year. It's like no way. Yeah, it's like usually people just promise and never deliver. And website, like everything was like promising, and I didn't believe until I'm now here, and I'm really amazed by the experience I'm getting here. I think it's very similar to yours.
And Kadri, what's about your expectations?
Yeah, I was a bit worried because nothing is free in Estonia.
Yeah.
So, yeah, same as you. But I thought, well, I am so close to it. Well, Estonia is small, so everyone is close to it who is in Estonia. So I just thought, let's try it. Nothing bad can happen. So yeah, first I was amazed by the building because it's so new and it's massive.
Have you seen the photos of the building before the renovation?
No.
You should look for them.
I saw it for like 20 years.
Yeah, same.
It was far beyond.
Where we could find those photos?
I mean, I think you can Google them. Even I think the Google images will show you if you just put the pin on the building.
Yeah, I think it was untouched for like 30 years. And they really reimagined this building, like reinvented that one.
Was the tower there back then? There's like the radio tower kind of thing. Maybe I'm just using the...
That radio tower.
Yeah.
I think some company hosted their servers here.
Oh, okay.
And the tower also was there.
I don't really remember. I know. Maybe if you can find maybe there's a Google Street View archive and you can look for it.
Yeah, I think you can go back years to see.
Maybe you can find it there.
Yeah, but it's very impressive what they made in just like 1 year. Of course, like there was prior planning, stuff like that.
So besides the building?
Yeah, expectations.
I didn't actually imagine it would be this hard because I've lived my life that if I give my maximum, I will excel or at least be above average. But here it's like the first week was really, really hard, but doable. But yesterday and today, I'm like lost. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so what was yesterday and today?
Q5 and Q6. Yeah.
And what wasn't them?
I don't know, the last exercises of the fifth one, I felt completely lost. Like, so lost that when I look someone's full solution, I have no idea how it works. But I'm working on it. So
I see.
Today evening I will...
Did the second week start with recursion, no?
Recursion was actually, I think, Thursday. Yeah, that I know. That's when I cried the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I know I have to understand it. I know I have to. Yeah. Forcibly trying to understand. No, it was kind of bittersweet. Yeah.
But don't worry, I'll get to it later.
Yeah, that's how I kind of console myself. I know that even if I don't get it right now, I will hopefully get it maybe in 2 weeks, maybe in 2 months. But eventually, if I want, I will get it. So yeah, that's how I kind of get through this.
And also besides the point, since the brain takes time to process things. A good sleep makes up for the whole day of studying until late. So don't forget to sleep.
And complexity, it's so easy to get this imposter syndrome here because 30 years of development just thrown at you a single day. All those hundreds of years of mathematics and computation and all kinds of science, plus the realities of modern companies and businesses and all this in just 1 week, go and solve these problems. It might be overwhelming. At least it was for me, for sure.
Yeah.
But
don't feel like imposters because we all felt that way and it's normal. So you're just doing your best.
Yeah, I think people start to forget the complexity that is hidden behind those simple 2 lines or 3 lines and start oh yeah, I need to do it in 5 minutes or...
Yeah, it also seems like, at least from reading from online resources, that imposter syndrome is like the industry standard. Like even for like 30-year coders, like on Reddit and like on Stack, I feel like I keep reading about them. They're like, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. It's like this guy looks like he can grow like carrots with Matt Damon on Mars.
Yeah.
Yet he still has the imposter syndrome. So, which I, when I get it, we joke about it. Like also with friends right now, like with everyone who I come in contact with, and work a lot side by side. Kevin is one of them, and we joke. We can't get enough of saying, "Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, look at me being stupid now." Hey, who can compete with me? Like with my dumb-dumbness. We joke about it, and just the more we just joke about it, and just we let it slide. We just accept the fact. We given the fact that we're gonna feel stupid, and the way I look at it is, if I feel like even a bit less stupid tomorrow than I did today, so
That's what's sad. I saw some students who were way smarter than me, and they were struggling, and they decided to drop. So
Really?
eventually, yeah.
Oh.
So I think it's a big part just to keep the consistency and not demanding like everything from oneself at one single moment. It's like.
And also, like that process of learning, I kind of relate with my piano practicing years. Because let's say, like at the conservatory, you prepare a certain repertoire for your final exam at the end of the year. So if you like literally, let's say you practice an average of 2 hours every day. So if you like literally summed up those hours and put it, let's say, the month before the exam, you wouldn't get the same results, because brain doesn't work like that. Even though the sum of practice is the same, you need that that interval learning.
Yeah.
So even the sum of the hours are the same, you don't get the same results of instead of practicing 16 hours a day for a month, you don't get the same results of practicing 2 hours for 8 months.
Yeah.
So I try to remind myself of that and just say, it's gonna, maybe along the way, it's gonna make sense.
Yeah, it's bit by bit. Just
learning
bit by bit.
Just keep at it.
Yeah.
And also talking about the imposter syndrome, I don't know about how you done this, but let's say after getting into the school, like I think I've lost it along the way somewhere, but the first realization that I know something was just like the first exercise that there was, like because previously I didn't have any coding experience. I only studied coding like in the sprint for 3 weeks, and after that I didn't touch it for it was in July, so 5 months. So after 5 months, I opened up the first exercise that we needed to do, some manipulation with strings, if I remember correctly. And I started doing it, and I was like, wow, I can do it. What's that? I haven't touched it for 5 months, and I know how to do some things. That was amazing.
Yeah, about imposter syndrome, I had prior programming experience, like from coming from work. I made it through the sprint with this imposter syndrome. I landed a job in one of the Estonian unicorns. I worked there for 1 year, still with the imposter syndrome. I think it's like, it's not the thing about, now I work for IBM with the same kind of issue, but it's not related to, I believe it's not related to the amounts of studies I do or projects I finish. It's about being humble and kind of take self-limitations, because obviously I'm not going to become a ChatGPT, or like I'm not going to know everything about anything. So like just being humble and just trying to do own best is the best remedy for this for the syndrome, but it's easier said than done. So even knowing that, I still kind of feel it.
All right. So, Kadri, how about you describe the sprint for you so far?
Like I said, it's even harder than I imagined. I have a friend who's programmer who's been doing it for, I don't know, 15 years. And he always reminds me that you can't learn everything in 2 weeks that others do in 1 year of uni. So it's really hard. It's really like paced. You don't get the luxury of letting it settle by sleeping on it or something like that. You just have to go with the flow. And yeah, it's hard. I know I don't understand everything. I'm happy if I understand something. I'm happy if the solution just comes to me, like when I have ideas how to tackle this problem. Sometimes when I look at a few exercises in the quest, I'm just blank. I don't have like any idea how to, like, I don't even know how to write something, even if the FMT was allowed. So sometimes it's really, really hard. But I try to remind myself that I will get there eventually. I just need a bit more time, and I'm trying to give my best.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, how much co-working have you done so far?
Like
Because I seen that you're sitting here on the third floor, which is like a more quiet floor where everyone is by themselves. So do you have any co-workers or?
I have a few girls who are also here on the third. We just work individually, and when we have a problem, we kind of like walk back because they're in the front. They walk back, or I won't walk in the front. A few more. There are a few people I work with, but the fifth floor is a bit too loud for me. I wouldn't get anything done there.
I see. So how are those difficult exercises for you when you're co-working? Are there any easier, or are they mystery to a bunch of you when you try to work on them?
Yeah, today's quest's first exercise was a mystery for all of us here. So, the first one who got the solution basically stood up, applauded, and then everyone kind of like gathered around and asked how it was.
Okay, what was it, if you mind sharing?
Write the program that prints the name of the program, I think. Something like that. But there wasn't the problem that you can't, like, you don't know the correct commands. The problem was that you needed only the last part of it, but I didn't know it. So it was hard because I didn't know what was the problem. Well, it prints the name, but it was just the name. And that's the whole floor who like tackled the same problem.
I remember. I remember that one.
Yeah, the input seems to be exactly the same, but it is not. That's a tricky one. We don't have it in our list, but I really want to ask you, how, from your own perspective, how you see cons and pros of this school? Like, how would you evaluate it based on your experience, like week and a half?
Pros of the usage of the intra system, like this, like O1 EDU system, you mean specifically?
I mean, whatever is there, it's...
The main pro is like, you're, like, as I mentioned before, it brings people together and everyone knows some things. And the good part is that even if you don't know anything about coding, you still bring an approach, a way of thinking using your own previous experiences in life. So it doesn't, right? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to do anything with coding or computers or tech or anything else related, but still you bring a way of thinking. There has been many times where I just started talking and I don't know any coding, and I just started talking and, my friends were listening, but then, my ways of logic making or like logic setup meant something to them. So kind of like
Like it's something.
Yeah,
like
lit
ideas.
something. They had lit something there. So it's like you keep bouncing off, like neutrons. You keep bouncing off ideas, and the more that happens, it ends up giving you some kind of result. We actually call it creative bullshitting.
Oh yeah, it's very good name for that. I really like it.
Yeah, creative bullshitting has been mentioned many times for the last 10 days on our floor. But we seem to enjoy it. And that way it's like getting in a brainstorming session with the marketing team, where you don't hold anyone off. You don't limit each other. You don't limit yourself. You just like, hey, could it be this? Could it be that? And just like that kind of interaction, I love. I think that's one of the main pros of the program, where it lets you just go crazy and tackle the problems together. Another thing that I appreciate is, yes, there are assignments and there are quite literal solutions to them. You need to get a certain output in the program, but it doesn't limit your approach. You will see many people having the assignment passed, but when you go in and when you ask them to walk you through their code, you see many different solutions.
Some no codes, some short codes,
some short.
Some in between.
Yeah, some use just a simple for loop. Then the one uses a for range loop. I guess get that is kind of specific for Go. Different solutions, yet they get passed. So kind of like it pushes you to get a certain result, but it lets you be you. That's what I like.
Are there any cons?
Cons. It could be. It has been mentioned among myself and different parties of friends that it could get too
overwhelming.
Overwhelming to some people. That how it's mentioned in how it's in the motto of the school too, that everyone can code and they need to learn in their own way.
Yeah.
But the problem is. The thing is, it might be too overwhelming to some people, where we might be losing some people due to that amount of stress and amount of the strenuous work, amount of work. So maybe that person would have become a very prominent figure in the tech world, but just didn't have enough time to shine.
I think the pacing contributes towards it, because every day we have a new quest.
Yeah.
And we do have time to still do them, because it's not finish the quest in 24 hours. But when there's a new quest, you're okay, I have to get started on the next one. So there's pressure to not fall behind. But at the same time, that pressure can also in a way build character and help people improve.
Yeah. And since the study process is pretty much on yourself and on your teammates, it's a little bit easier than sprints, but it's still a lot of self-learning. Basically, everything is self-learned. During the sprint, you get some videos and some small tutorials where they give you one command. That's what it does. Deal with it. But in real life, in real projects, in the school that we do, you don't get anything. You just get this must do that, and it's up to you how you implement it. So the sprint process is kind of eliminates those people who would be struggling in the program, I think.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, now that you mention it, the guy he absolutely killed me this morning at the beginning of Quest 6, where he went, "Okay, this will be all you need today."
Yeah.
It's
this is the first time he said it.
As if he's saying there's some eggs. That's all you need for an omelet.
Yep.
No, that was an absolute no. Because we could tell that's not going to be everything we need for the day, and that's exactly how it turned out to be.
Well, maybe that was everything that you needed from him.
Exactly. So yeah, we expect that. We expect that.
Yeah.
Because like at this point we are so used to like squeezing everything, like squeezing everything, everyone, each other. Like we try to get the most out of each other. We push each other in a good way, and it's like if someone can't take it, they probably move off the floor. That's what I'm guessing, because I'm always on the floor.
Yeah.
There has been like very few times where I said like, I think I'm turning into a cactus. So like I'm just looking like into oblivion. You know, I can't think, I can't concentrate. So I just want to go out. And just like stare at passing cars. There has been like a few times like that, but it just like took me 5 minutes, just little breaks, and I came back. And I appreciate all my friends who have been like pushing me and just asking questions and just trying to make sense out of all of it.
All right.
Kadri, what do you think?
I was thinking about the 10 a.m. because I'm more of like a morning person, and I couldn't go to sleep if I didn't finish the last quest. So like I'm here in the morning, like quite early, and then I'm just trying to learn something like in addition to it, because the new quest isn't open yet. So that's my kind of, I wouldn't say it's con, it's just how the system works, but for me, I would like it to be slid a bit down to the morning, so it would, I don't know, maybe from 7. A few people I heard are like really early.
7.
Yeah.
That's a bit early. It's just a tad early for me.
Yeah, it's just people are so different. Like, most of you probably, I don't know, learn through midnight, but I would like to go and get some sleep. So
For me, the best learning is in the morning.
Yep.
yeah.
Afternoon. In the morning, I'm sleeping till like 2
I
p.m.
feel like before noon, before lunch, I'm like the most productive.
Yeah.
And after that, I have like a really steep,
steep curve.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's been same for me. Like 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven in the morning is my thing. Even though I tend to be sleepy, but I feel like the most fresh.
Same.
I try to put the hardest learnings.
The absolute new learning.
At the time,
But rather than then towards the end of the day, it's like, I think it's a more ideal time to do the repetitive tasks.
Exactly.
Or execute something, or like try to come up with a variation of something that you have learned before. You can do that. Like you can improvise after 4 in the afternoon, but not like if you want to learn absolutely something new, like in a more traditional way where we sit down and watch the intro videos, like O1 EDU videos. It's like absolute new. It has to be in the morning.
What would you advise for the next sprinters, like coming after you? What do they need to know or maybe prepare, or like how to survive, considering the amount of work you mentioned? And
I'd say be prepared isn't really something to say, but I guess be prepared to
not to expect anything, maybe.
Yeah, but to be really pushed, because that's something that I didn't expect. Like, because in comparison to like traditional school, in traditional school there's a lot of theories, there's a lot of like knowing this and knowing that and memorizing. But like coming here is like a lot of practical work, and you're really pushed to learn and like try to stay motivated. So I guess, and my advice would be, try to find ways to stay motivated, because when you start losing motivation, you start slowing down.
Yep.
And then once you start slowing down, you start getting stressed because you're falling behind. So try to stay motivated and communicate with people, because when you start making friends, you start communicating and bouncing ideas off each other, it's so much easier to stay motivated. Like, it's like we hold each other accountable in a way. We just like support each other to stay on the right track. So that's my advice.
Yeah. I guess I like mainly like I agree, and there's not much I can add. But the only part I can add is the being pushed part. Like the push doesn't come from the school. Actually, that's how I feel like it.
Yeah.
Because no one forced me to come here. No one forced me to stay, and no one is still to this day, to this moment. No one is forcing me now. I can literally pack my bags this minute and leave. So the entire push comes from within ourselves. So that's the beauty of the system. It just says, this is what I have, this is what you get. It's like, maybe I shouldn't mention brands. Should I mention brands? Would that be a problem for our
We'll cut that.
little? It's like saying, dude, this is McDonald's. You're not gonna get a Whopper.
Yeah.
This is not the place for that.
All right.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is what I'm offering.
Yeah.
And if you want to do it, you do it on your own terms.
Okay.
But this is the platform, this is the setting, this is the expectation. So I feel like yes, we're feeling a lot of pressure, and we're pushing through, but we are the ones who willingly do it.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful part.
Yeah. That's true.
So I willingly push myself, and I willingly push my friends, or my friends push me willingly, knowingly that I would get really tired and sometimes very emotional, and sometimes literally like speechless. But the entire process goes willingly.
That's true. It's true.
And I would just actually advise them to focus on what this system is trying to achieve. At first, we were more focused on getting these like XP points. They'll know once they come. We were more focused on get as much as XP as you can. Do the best at the exam, and such and such. And but now we realize it's actually about a reflection of a developer's life in a pill form. Like this, it's more. We just feel like yes, they were right. They really meant it when they said, hey, mostly why this sprint matters is that you see how living like a developer works, how working in a team works, how working in a company works, where you have people that you will be forced to ask something. So what it teaches you the most is get out of your comfort zone and be okay with the idea that you need help.
Yeah.
And you ask for it in a humble way, as you mentioned it, Dennis.
Yeah, I think I'm just like reflecting on that the sprint is kind of SEALs training. Because it might happen in a work situation or in a school situation, but those are rather exceptions. Usually things are way more relaxed than during those 3 weeks you're going through at the moment. I have a bit more trickier question. So knowing all things, how it works, would you give yourself an advice prior to joining the sprint?
Would you give yourself
to yourself in the past, seeing from now?
Yeah. Kadri?
Learn math before coming here.
Yeah, exactly. If not even maybe not even learn from scratch, but even if they brush up on all knowledge.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel for me it was
math.
10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, when I finished high school, because in uni we didn't learn that much math. It's been mostly reminding how it was, what it does, why mathematicians decided like this. So yeah, definitely.
And they should definitely not wait to start the journey once they're here. I think that was because and I there were a lot of advice on what to look for, in Notion. They said you could check out this video, you could do these exercises, and a lot of resources were already shared before us coming here. And I tried to do as much as I can. But my advice would be, just do a lot. Just the minute you get those links and that information flowing in, just like you just consider yourself in the sprint. By the time you get added on Discord and you got the link on for Notion, I think that's and also I think it will put you in the mentality of learning anyway.
Yeah.
So you're not like fish out of the water on Monday morning.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Because that's how I felt like. Yeah.
Like, be prepared. Like, do your self-learning part. Like, start your self-learning early, because you're going to end up, especially if you're like very used to traditional school, where you have a teacher and they're like, this does this, this does this, this does this. Like, so like I've had to do a lot of Googling and like learning and watching other videos. So it's like, you start doing that first. Once you start, it becomes that tiny bit easier to know how to learn by yourself if you're not used to learning by yourself.
All right. And so I think for the last thing, let's discuss what did you learn about yourself so far. Kadri, anything interesting you found about Kadri?
That human beings are really strong and can live without food, water, or sleep quite a long time.
All right. Kevin?
I have more motivation than I thought I did, because that's one thing that I've like struggled with. That's why I didn't like touch any games, like game development or any programming since I finished uni. I was like, found it so hard to motivate myself, and I always thought like, yeah, maybe I'm just not able to do it. Maybe it's just not for me. And then I dips in motivation. Then one day I'm like, oh, I really want to do this. Then I start thinking of them like, nah, it's okay. I don't feel like doing it. So one thing I learned about myself is, if I just sit down and do something, I will actually be able to like get the ball rolling and continue doing it.
Sure, same here. I was more like I thought before coming here. I thought I'm simply not smart enough to do any coding. The bottom line is. And after coming here, I realized I just need to give it some time. And a lot of friends of mine, they said I have a way with words, so I can put the problem that we have in hand in good words that kind of makes us all understand, how we can go about the problem itself. And I had the chance to share one of my solution. I almost had a 25-minute mini lecture on the weekend. So yeah, I guess I'm more motivated, and I think like the whole thing was almost like a self-esteem bump for me. You would think that us being crushed under all this new knowledge would have the reverse effect.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, do I feel more intelligent? No. The more I find out, it's like watching Lost. You get answers. If you watched it before, it's like you watch. You know what I mean? Like you watch an episode of Lost. You get answer to one thing, but then you end up with three more new questions. So yeah, I mean, even though we are like being crushed under new knowledge, you would think I would. The more that happens, you would think I would, end up feeling more stupider. But no, I think I just have a better way of dealing with it now, just by saying, you know what, we'll find the answer some way, somewhere, somehow, and we'll make sense of it at some point.
Yeah.
So it was a self motivation to push through. It gave these last 10 days really just gave me the feeling that I kept telling myself that no matter what happens, we'll push through, and we'll make sure somehow, as long as we keep pushing through, there will be food on the table.
All right. Dennis, do you have anything to say to
I'm inspired. What I've learned about myself. kind of hard to define. I think I've learned, like for myself, maybe, about myself, that uncertainty and just doing things, because I'm doing like many side projects as well, like trying to start an entrepreneurial community here, like doing all kinds of different stuff not related to school, and there is a lot of uncertainty. And regarding school as well, like many projects we start, we think that we finish in 2 weeks, ended up doing it 4 months, and ending up doing that, like actually completing that, and there is nothing wrong with like going into this mist, this unknown, and just trying to figure out things. And for myself, I discovered that I actually can survive there, and it's worth the risk for me. So I really like the environment. I think it provides opportunities, and it provides knowledge to all kinds of demands, I would say. Like there are so many things one can learn and one can take out of this environment, because I'm more like focused on building teams and like starting projects and stuff like that, but all this comes from this background.
Okay, to wrap things up, all I can say is keep on keeping on. It's great that you came here. It's great that you're participating in it. Don't get disheartened at any moment. We all feel stupid. I feel stupid too. Dennis feels stupid too. And we discussed it, feel stupid, but it's all right. It's all right. It apparently, according to the air programmer humor, it never goes away. So every programmer feels stupid every day when something doesn't work, and when something works, you feel like a genius. So it's a way of life. Embrace that lifestyle, I'd say. And since it's summer, take some free county buses, go visit Toila, go visit like Lake Peipus, have some fun, do activities, and just don't sit here 24/7 because it's not great for you. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. It was a pleasure, and I learned so much today. I'm very happy about that.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Hope you had fun.
With it.